In this video, you'll learn to define and use facets. You'll also see how to control which facets are displayed in the default LucidWorks user interface. Like many advanced search platforms, LucidWorks provides faceted search as a way to allow users to drill down into a search result list. The values for these facets come from fielded data contained in a web page, a document, or a database. You've probably used facets, sometimes called refiners, to select products on popular e-commerce sites. Let's start by logging into the LucidWorks console and navigating to the dashboard for your collection. Here we'll be using collection 1. First, let's search our test collection to see what the results list look like. I'll tab to a search window and I'll type a query I know will bring back some results. To the right of the display, you'll see facets. The only facets shown by default are for the data source name, which is essentially the server name for this type of document, and MIME type, which indicates the document type, like Microsoft Office or web page content. Two things are required for a field to display as a facet. The document must contain data in the field, and the field has to have the facet option enabled in LucidWorks. Let's create a facet for the keyword field, which is often used on web pages and Microsoft Office documents. I'll return to the menu and mouse over the Indexing tab and select Fields. This displays all of the currently defined fields for the collection. You can find a list of standard fields by searching the LucidWorks wiki for Customizing the Schema. At the top of the report, you will see the attributes that are enabled or disabled for each field. The check marks indicate the attribute is enabled. The small icon to the left of many fields indicates the field is a special field in LucidWorks, and clicking on the icon will display the LucidWorks wiki page with documentation for that field. As we scroll down to the keyword field, the first thing you'll notice is that there are two fields, keywords and keywords display. LucidWorks supports a number of types of fields, and each type manipulates the field's content differently. The keyword field is of type text EN for English text. In this type of field, plurals are transformed into root form for better searching. For example, cars becomes car. While we generally want that sort of transformation for searching, we generally don't want it for viewing facets. For example, a keyword miles should be displayed with the trailing S, not shown as mile. To solve this issue, LucidWorks uses a second field to contain the display values. In this case, the standard field keyword display, which is of type comma separated. Not only does this field not remove plurals, it also understands that comma separated data should be treated as multiple values. LucidWorks actually copies the original value of keywords into the display field before it normalizes any data. As it turns out, our data files in this example do have a keyword field. Let's take a look at one of these files in an editor, and in fact you'll see that a keyword field is defined with a value of local. All we need to do to see the keyword's facet is go back to the Fields menu and enable Facets. We'll choose the keyword's display field, click its name, and then click the tab marked Facet. We'll scroll down, save that field, and now when we do a search, we'll see the data from the keyword display field. I'll go over to the tab that has search, I'll repeat the search again, and we see we now do have a facet for keywords. And if I open that up, we see we've got a number of them defined in the documents. In the default result list, we also see MIME type and data source name. Depending on the audience using your site and the field values themselves, these facets may not have much meaning. So let's remove these fields from the facet list. Go back to the Collections Fields screen, scroll down to MIME type, and click. We'll uncheck the facet box and save it. We'll do the same thing now for data source name. Click the field, uncheck Facet, and save it. Now when we go back to do a search, and do it now, we'll see that those facets have gone away. LucidWorks determines which facets to display when you do a search, so we do not need to go back and re-index. The MIME types and data source name fields are still part of the collection, we just don't see them. But if we were to change the keyword field in a document, we would have to re-index the collection to see accurate data. Let's summarize what we've done here. We've seen that there are different types of fields, and LucidWorks doesn't always process different field types the same way. We've seen that in order for facets to display in the result list, the field has to be enabled as a facet, and the field must contain values. And finally, we saw that we need to re-index when we change any of the content, but that we do not need to re-index to enable or disable the display of a facet. Thanks for watching our video.